It was great. All right. Hi, everybody. Tonight's Wine Wednesday team call is with the most amazing friend of mine, Francine Azel. We just hiked Pico Duarte together, and we had so much bonding going on that trip that I just love her. I loved her before, but now it's just that much of a deeper bond that we have. And we all know from the sense of all time, beginning of all time, Fran has always been the organizer. She was a librarian, so she's got it down as far as systems and organization, but you all know this woman doesn't. So I would like to welcome Fran to our call. She's a lifetime 5-star. She hit premiere last year, Success Club 5 legend, and I don't think you've ever missed Success Club, actually. You are a rock star. She always shows up on our leaderboards. She is one of our Diesel Nation leaders, and honestly, she's a mom and a busy woman just like the rest of us. So how she keeps her time scheduled is the bomb, and she's going to share that with us tonight. So take it away, Fran.
Hi, thank you. It's so funny when you're asking me my accolades. I'm not that person. I'm like, I don't know. I don't even keep track of that stuff. As Katrina mentioned, I'm a teacher, an elementary school teacher. It's actually what I got my bachelor's and my master's in. I was that perpetual student, and I figured that was the perfect way, the perfect career, because I did love learning. And then when I got something, there's nothing I love more than simplifying a system and teaching somebody else. Coaching was not something I even considered. It took me quite some time to convince me. But anyway, so I can't tell you how excited I am to be here. I still get nervous when I do presentations. I was just doing a similar presentation yesterday, and it has nothing to do with who's watching me or how many people are watching. The teacher in me just wants to make sure that you guys walk away like, oh my God, I'm ready to go. I'm ready for action. Like, you walk away with a fire in your heart and with like something solid that you can implement immediately, and get you to move. So, and also the truth is, these kind of presentations really force me to like, wait, I not only have to talk the talk, I got to walk the walk, right? So I got to look back into my own business, which I love to do. I do often, and it's so important, but it's the perfect time for me to see the areas that I'm doing well in, but these areas, that I tend to, put to the side and need a little bit of work. So I'm sure you guys can relate, right? There are some things that we like to do and some things we don't. So anyway, let's get started. Do I have any bakers in here? Anybody that likes to bake? And whether it's cookies or cakes or any kind of baking, I used to be anyway. I don't have to tell you that when it comes to baking anything, every single ingredient and even the measurement of that ingredient is critical. I can't just decide I'm going to leave out flour or leave out the eggs or leave out the butter just because I don't like it, right? Or I can't say, you know what, I really love butter, which I really do. I really love butter, so I'm going to double the butter, but I'm going to leave the flour out just because I don't like it. And the exact same thing is the same thing goes for our business. We can't just choose the activities that we like, or just do the ones that we prefer, or do more of the ones we like, and unintentionally not do the ones that we don't like, right? You know what I mean? So before I go on, and before I actually share with you some of these scheduling things, I need you to put yourself in the place where you're really, really honest with yourself. I want you to put any reasons aside, any excuses as to why you're not super intentional, and any like, yeah, but, because I'm the first one to say that. Put those things aside and ask yourself, how intentional are you on a daily basis with your business? Now, by the way, I'm not here to try to make anyone feel bad. As I just mentioned, this presentation forces me to take a good hard look at my own business and ask myself, is there room for improvement? And the answer always is, and always will be, yes, there's always room for improvement. And you have to be coachable. You've got to be able to be honest with yourself on a consistent basis. So let's do that. Before I go ahead and tackle any like daily activities, I feel like I have to address goals. And most of us, we're coaches, right? We're good at setting those. But how many of us reverse engineer our goals? And you know, when I first started looking at, you know, working with my team and working towards 5-star, it seemed, when I looked at the whole big picture, I'm like, oh my God, it seemed like this unsurmountable like task, like endless amount of graphs and, you know, and all kinds of moving parts. Immediately I was overwhelmed. Thankfully, my upline's like a little bit of a, you know, Amy, she's Miss Zen, you know, she always has this clarity in her mind. And she very knowingly said, well, Fran, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So let's break it up. And that's huge. I do that constantly. I'm constantly breaking up big things and chunking them into small parts. So not only did we map out, you know, and work backwards from the big goal, but we actually went with a goal date. And then I put dates next to each and every person throughout that date. So let's use Achieving Diamond as an example. I'm actually going to share my screen. Nothing major. You guys have totally seen like a map like mine. It's not even all that cute. I literally did it 5 minutes before we popped on. I was telling Katrina, I'm like, you know, I'm a little bit of a visual learner, so I feel like I should just show a quick picture. So I'm going to do that for you in a minute. When you're and some of you may be diamond, some of you may be working for star, 2-star or 5-star, or some of you are just working for emeralds. Wherever you are in your business, you want to map it out. You want a visual picture. So what I'm going to share with you is not going to be anything major. You've probably seen this before. Hold on, let me see if I remember how to share my screen. Here we go. Can you see that? So you guys have probably seen, you know, some sort of diamond diagram, right? And I use this diagram with my coaches. Their name goes up here. So let's say, you know, Anna wants to go diamond, and Anna starts plugging in people that she has in mind to help her become diamond. Here's where her 2 emeralds on the right and the left are going to go. That's beautiful. We always put an accomplished date, right? But this is usually where we stop. And this is the part where I tell you it's just the beginning. So you may have an accomplished date, but then what I do is I break that date up backwards. So whatever, let's say this is April 1st. Well, that week before April 1st, March, whatever, that becomes week 1. You know, that I break it by week, I should say. So, okay, this week, before the end of this week, I need to get Amy and Stephanie, you know, as my first 2 coaches. They already said they're going to become coaches. They're thinking about the coaching business. So I might even put them in here. Week 2, I'm going to get Amy to bring 1. And then I'm going to get Stephanie to bring her first, you know, coach as well. And then me, myself, you know, I'm going to bring 2 more coaches. Week 3. Now, Amy's going to bring an additional 1, making her emerald. Stephanie's going to bring an additional 1, making her an emerald. And I'm going to bring 2, you know, 2 more. And I continue doing that based on how many weeks I'm giving myself to work towards this goal. Does that make sense? So that's what I mean by reverse engineering. I see how many weeks I have left for this final date of whatever that goal is, and I break that down. Guys, you can do this for yearly goals. You can do this for monthly goals. But this is when, to me, this is the difference between a dream and a specific plan towards reaching that goal. And that was such a huge like eye opener for me. And it also felt like doable. You know what I mean? When I saw it, like, oh, okay, so I only have to do that this week. And next week, I only have to do that. Okay, I'm giving myself some time. Does that mean that if I didn't reach that goal at the end of the week, all is lost? No, I knew I just had to move my timeline. But I felt like it was a lot more doable and not as overwhelming. Obviously, your exact map does not have to look exactly like me. That's totally, you do you, of course, and you break it up as small chunks or as big chunks as you want. Um, but at the end of the day, once you reverse engineering, then you want to go down and break down your daily activities. And that's really where my expertise, for lack of a better word, is. Where I get all happy. I love anything, systems and schedules. So I used to tell my husband, Dan, how busy I was. I was working so hard, and I'm constantly busy all day. I'd wake up guys, there were times I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning. 4:30 in the morning to do my power hour, just to get dressed, to go to, I had to open up the library when I was a teacher librarian, open up the library at 7 in the morning. Okay, nobody in the library. Let me send in one little more invite, or let me, go ahead and do this graphic for my team, or let me just do a really cool post for my challenge group. So I was busy constantly making dinner and then running back to my office and working, or I'd be with my family. It was on my phone. However, I wasn't seeing my business move all that much. And so, I'm having this conversation with my husband. My husband is a business owner. We both own a general contracting company, and it's expanded to other things, but he's a brilliant businessman. And he also knows how I prefer just straight to the point, pure honesty when it comes to my feedback. So he asked me, okay, so you're busy, but are you spending the majority of the time doing the two or three main things that actually move your business? Now, my husband knows nothing about Beachbody. Yes, he's a coach, but that's as good as, and he knows it has to do with fitness and nutrition. Other than that, he has nothing to do with our Beachbody business. He got me. The two or three main things. Remember back to the baker? Yeah, here Miss Queen of Organization was doing everything, all kinds of things, cute graphics, all kinds of things, but only a few invites a day. And, I was following up maybe every once in a while. I wasn't really following any kind of social media posting system. I wasn't really analyzing my business. I really wasn't doing the things that were going to push my business forward. I was great with my challengers once I had them, but I was not doing anything to grow my business. Very little anyway. And that's when I realized I had to work on my schedule and my efficiency. There's that saying, either you run the day or the day runs you. And nothing can be, closer to the truth than that. Especially when you own your own business. I know people tend to say that balance is bullshit, and I used to believe it, but I really, really disagree at this point. There are people with way more things on their plate, way beyond the things that I have to do, and get really important shit done on a daily basis. So I'll be damned if I can't figure it out. The motto that's always kept me in this business is, if there's someone that has done it, there's no reason why I can't figure it out. And there's so many people that have done it faster, larger. There's always something else. And that doesn't mean I hold them up on a pedestal, but just the fact that they've been able to do it. Listen, they're no one special. I've met the Melanie Mitros. I've met the Bonnies. They're amazing people. They're no more special than you and I. So if they can do it, there's no reason why I can't. I'm the only one that stands in my own way. And I remind myself of that. It's why I went ahead and developed, I was just with Katrina, it's why I went ahead and designed my own planner. Like I produced my own planner. I too had, papers everywhere. Now I have my planner, and I always have like a notebook for, any trainings that I do. Other than that, that's all. And I wanted something that I could throw into my, into my purse, and then throw it into my backpack, and that was durable, that I didn't who are the people that said yes for more information? Where do I find, let me go into street. Damn it. My phone's not where I wanted. A one-stop shop. So if you can find that, or if you want the one that I use, I highly recommend it. Guys, one thing I forgot to mention, I was a technology mentor, the technology coordinator in my school, on top of many hats. I don't know if there are any public school teachers out here, but we wear a lot of hats. I love technology. Yeah, I'm all about it. However, There's something to be said about having paper and pencil, and I'll talk a little bit about that. So here are the top 5 things that I have found that made the biggest difference when it comes to my schedule. Number one, Sundays are planning days. I wake there, there's always sacrifices that you need to make in any business. My sacrifices, I wake up just a little bit early, about 30 minutes, sometimes an hour. Now I've gotten so used to it, it's not even a sacrifice anymore. I wake up earlier before my family because that is family day, and I spend it just planning out my week. And like I was just telling Katrina, this weekend, actually, I'm planning out not just the week, but I'm planning the month of March. I know exactly when my challenge groups are running. I know when I'm running not running my ads, but like, doing my stories for it, doing my posts for it. I have it all planned out. What am I doing with my challenge groups? And when I did my planner, that's exactly what I did, around my planner. Okay, what am I doing for business opportunity? What am I doing for challenge groups? Is there anything personal going on? What does my life look like? Number 2, always have a running to-do list. I don't have to tell anybody. I'm pretty sure anyone that, especially if you're a woman, you've got a running to-do list. Now, whether it's all in the same place, that's a whole other, ball game. However, you want to make sure you keep that to-do list close to your planner, and then you prioritize. Tip number 3: prioritize your day. You do that in a couple ways. First of all, again, with my planner, you could at least as far as I'm concerned, my to-do list, even though I felt like I got 10 things off my list and I only have a few more, the following day there were another 20. It just felt like it was a constant revolving, to-do list. There's no way you're going to get it all done. And I wanted to make sure that at the end of the day, instead of feeling overwhelmed, that I'm like, damn, I got a lot done. And so I do that by prioritizing my day. First thing I do is every morning I look and I'm like, okay, what are the 3 things, top 2 or 3 things I must do today? The day cannot end. The first thing I do is I whip out, yes, I still use my calendar on my phone. I whip out and see, okay, do I have any pending appointments? I go ahead and plug those in. Sometimes I'll do it for the week, but you know how appointments tend to change. So I usually do everything in pencil. And so is there any standing things, any standing routines? Am I going to work? Obviously, I'm going to block off those times during that time. Where are my workouts going? I even put in my meals, guys. Yes, I color coordinate my things. Meals is pink. I have to remind myself to eat, but I put those in there because time all of a sudden escaped me and I can just, work through it. Any kids activities, like those solid things I have already in my calendar. That's the first thing in my calendar. And then I go ahead and check and plug in everything else I need to do, checking on a challenge group, my team, any planning of posts and so forth. That is after I have planned every standing appointment, like going back to what I'm prioritizing. First, any daily routine, your work and all that. Any non-negotiable business push activities go second. And then I plug in the extras. Important stuff, right? Obviously, checking on your challenge group is important. But again, you prioritize what's important. And like I said, I always start with, on the very top of every day, what are the top 2 or 3 things I need to get done? And I give myself enough time for it. Number 4, chunking is your friend. Very early on, especially for those of us that work full-time in another career and trying to make this Beachbody work, it drove me crazy that I had Beachbody, I would say, 5, 10, activities that I need to get done every day. Why am I doing 10 things every single day? So chunking immediately became my friend. Invites, I try to hit 100 invites at this point in my game. I try to do 100 invites every week. Invites are done between Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe Thursday if I didn't finish Tuesday, Wednesday, but I do not invite 7 days a week. Follow-ups are Fridays. I pay my bills on Thursdays. Like I literally choose certain days to do certain things and I just chunk them together as opposed to doing everything every day. I chunk things throughout the week. That to me is my friend. Number 5, accountability partner or group. Because let's be honest, especially for those of us that being organized and scheduling even for myself, that it is second nature. When I know someone's waiting for me on Sundays, I usually have one particular person meet me on via Zoom, and we're quiet. We're both doing our own planning, but I know she's waiting for me. I'm making myself not only wake up, but come to my office and just plan out. And then, of course, it's so much more fun. Hey, what are you doing for a challenge group? What days are you going to do that? You have that camaraderie. Um, I will tell you, even though I told you there are top 5 things, I'm going to tell you the one little, like almost the bonus that puts them all together. And that is keep your calendar in a visible location open. Another reason why I don't just use my phone. I have to open the phone. I got to open the schedule. I got to open the calendar. I got to open that day. I need something where I look and I'm like, okay, I'm on track. I don't have to stick to like whatever. I said I was going to finish my power hour by 11 o'clock. It's 11:05. I'm done. No, if I'm in the middle of a conversation with someone and someone wants to sign up, I'm not going to like, sorry, got to go. I'm going to finish what I'm going to do. But I stick to my list of things. And I always give myself about an hour, even if it just takes 30 minutes. I give myself some cushion room just in case I'm running behind on things. So that, again, my goal is at the end of the day that I pushed my business forward and that I feel accomplished. So I'm doing 2 things. Guys, I have to say that following a schedule has helped me not only find, but maximize time for me, time for my family. It's how I'm assured to put specific hours to my business growth activities. I even start every single day during the week with daily mass. And then I go into the chapel and I have my silent prayer, my time of reflection. I have time for those things that are so important to me because I follow a schedule. And it's not, my life is not a random thing. So I hope this empowered you. Please, if any point you guys have any questions, whether it has to do with scheduling or organization or fitting it all in, or I don't know, or you need a calendar or whatever, please don't hesitate to message me. I'm always around in Diesel Nation. I'm with Amy too, Titanium, and with Katrina, we're just, and especially now with everything going on with Blue Missions, get ready, girl. We're already planning next year's. But I hope this was helpful for all of you. No snooze crew. Yes, definitely do a no snooze crew every day.
For your accountability.
Absolutely.
Yes, Fran, that was amazing. I took 2 full pages of notes, and I do keep 1 notebook for all my chaos. It's just the little papers that go.
Well, that's your system.
No, we need to fix the system. The system is broken. But I loved it.
It's funny because my husband. Oh, sorry. I think we have a little bit of a lag. My husband and I, we were talking to one of my son's therapists, and we're just talking to her, and she tells me, no, my husband was commenting on me and my OCD. And she's like, oh yeah, that's probably what, you're super organized because of your ADD. I look and I go, what do you mean? She goes, nobody told you you're ADD? I'm like, no. She's like, that's why you're so organized, because I can tell your mind's going everywhere and you need to process. That's your way of control. So
yeah,
what can I tell you? It works.
Squirrel. No, I had a lot of takeaways and I love all of it, but I'm going, Sunday is like my prep day and I'm all in with nutrition and in my groups and that stuff, but I do need to take Sunday and plan out the week with other situations as far as my work week, like you said, factor out what my kids need,
Absolutely.
what things I have and where am I going to really be intentional with my business. So, I mean, that was like the first one you said, and then it was just like mind blown as we go through all of them, because I've always had a running to-do list. I probably have 7 of them, but you're right, they're not next to my calendar. It's like I walk to my computer and I'm like, oh, there's those 5 to-do things, and I'll start, and then someone will call me out there and I get to the fridge and there's 5 more to-dos. So I'm never continually doing one master list of what needs to get done. So I'm not prioritizing, which is obviously your number three point. So they kind of all go hand in hand. But I love, trunking is like time blocking. I used to be so good at that. I just don't know what happened with that, but I need to get back to doing that. And all of it. I love that you schedule your workouts and your meals too, because, when I was doing competition, I was so good about it. And then after, I'm like, what? And I'm like, wait, I don't even know if I ate once today. Thank God I had a shake. So I super love everything you put together in there, because it's so true. And the accountability part there is a big one. Like, they're all big. I can't break them off and say one's more important. So
I could go on and on, but I will tell you this, Katrina. Yes, it takes a little bit of discipline. It doesn't take a long time in the beginning. Obviously it does, because it's something that's out of your normal. But if you could just take, I've already started planning next week, because I know that Sunday I'm going to Food and Wine, and I already know what's coming up next week. So I'm already planning. If you can just take 15, 20 minutes to just, okay, first let me plug in these important things that are, non-negotiable, like not non-negotiable, but they're not negotiable, whatever. I have to eat. I have an appointment at the doctor's, plug those solid appointments in there. And then you put in your non-negotiable. I'm going to stick my power at this time. I'm going to do this. Kids, do you have any, if you just take a few minutes every single week, do that with your to-do list. Take it with you. In the beginning, when I was talking about prioritizing, in the beginning, everything seems so important, right? I gotta schedule my posts. And now I'm doing a push group. So I got to do this, and I got to send this advertisement for the, we constantly have things, and they all have to be done right away. But when I sat there and say, okay, Fran, I'm only allowing you to do 2 or 3 today. And I literally, and it took me a while the first time, but by the second or third time, I'm like, I literally go through a quick, like, okay, what happens if I don't do that one today? And that's not procrastination. I'm prioritizing. And it helps me really hone in on those 2 or 3 things. And I'm not talking about inviting. That's a non-negotiable. I'm talking about the other stuff. What are those 2 or 3 things that before the end of the day, I need to make sure I get done? And I think if you do that along with your, 5 sheets of to-do lists, you will get through those little by little. You'll have more sheets eventually, because of course, we're women and we like to add stuff, but you'll get it done.
I seriously love it. Do you guys have any questions for Fran about anything that she hit on? Like, she's so thorough. It's pretty crazy.
It'd probably drive me crazy.
No, I love it. I'll never forget at leadership, she was sitting in the row in front of me, and I'm the hot mess that's like, where's a pin? Digging through my purse, peach bars everywhere, shake packets everywhere. She opens her thing up and has all those pins. Yes. I go, Fran, it's not art class. She said,
my desk, with
oh,
my
no,
notebook, and I'm ready. And she's like,
she color codes everything. I just write in orange or pink all the time because it fades easy. I don't know. But Fran color codes even her notes. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to get the notes from Fran. She's a good girl to have as your friend. Yes, I'll never forget. So that's what I mean. Yeah, she's so organized. I need her in my life. So, yes, I totally appreciate you. I know it's late over there on the East Coast, but yes, I'm staying up, pouring into my team. I love you, and I appreciate it. And I hope they take everything you said, and I'm going to plan my day or my rest of my week right now.
There you go. Awesome.
All right,
my friend.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you. It was an honor. I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Oh, wait. We got to get a picture. Nobody moved.
Oh, that's right.
I always forget. Good job, guys. Okay. Thank you, Fran. We'll chat soon.